the original designer of this deck, which I did a little drumming deck tech on a few days ago, and then somebody told me that Thraben University had played a league with this, and it was someone else's build, and I watched it, and I was so sad at how it turned out for Thraben University, and I love his content. He does a lot of good stuff, and been following him for a while now. But it did motivate me to go and update my MTGO client and fire up Old Faithful. So for those of you who don't know or didn't watch any of the other videos, this is DETH. It stands for Dark Depths, which is right over here. Tendrils, which is right here, and Helm of Obedience. So these are the three main modes that we want to win by. Our primary objective is getting a Ley Line of the Void into play. Ill-Gottengains, which reads each player discards their hand, then returns up to 3 cards from the graveyard to their hand. If you cast that with Ley Line in play, they exile their hand. Karn obviously can shut down their artifacts. We also have a Painter Grindstone combo thrown in there. A lot of fast mana, which is fast mana combined with Ill-Gottengains can help us storm off. Echo of Aeons. I mean, just look at that picture. Why wouldn't this card be in the deck? But I did put it in the deck just as a way, because this is, I wouldn't say like it's an all-in deck, but you are looking to win by, turn 3 or turn 4 whenever possible. And so since you are mulliganing a lot of times this is a way to get out of a hole that you have got yourself into and get a second chance, or refill your hand after you've gotten countered by going all in. And then, tutors, Wishclaw, Talisman, Infernal Tutors, and all of that. And then, of course, a little disruption to pick out counter spells from the hand. And then our mana base, fast mana with a couple Ancient Tombs. This build is running 2 Dark Depths and 3 Thespian Stages. Thespian Stage does have some utility other than just comboing with Dark Depths, where sometimes you can be tight on mana and you can copy an opportune land from the opponent, or copy a Caracas to bounce an opponent's Thalia back to their hand, things like that. And then Urborg to smooth it all out, and a couple of Sagas which can grab our Grindstone or Lion's Eye Diamonds. And Lake of the Dead because it gives you lots of swamps, and this deck likes lots of swamps. So that is the main deck, and let's go just check out our sideboard up here. We've got a Dread of Night, which gives white creatures -1/-1, an extra Duress, a Fatal Push, and a couple Hymn to Turox, a couple Opposition Agents, Toxic Deluge, Mycosynth Lattice, which we can grab with our Singleton Karn, Helm of Obedience, which we can also grab with Karn, Ensnaring Bridge, Painter Servant, a Defense Grid, Pithy Needle, and a Grindstone. So we can grab combos out of the sideboard with Karn. And then what we're sort of looking at is, obviously anybody that's searching their library bunch, we're going to bring in opposition agents for Delver matchups and things of that nature. Anyone that is a little bit weaker to Vampire Hexmage, or is running a lot of Planeswalkers or Chalice of the Voids, we're going to bring in Vampire Hexmage because it can allow us to manipulate the Chalices to our advantage when we need it. And it can also take out pesky Planeswalkers while we assemble one of our other combos. Also, it also just makes it 20/20. So, and then extra hand hate if we're going against control. We want to be able to fight their counter spells as much as possible. So we have a Hymn to Turox and a Duress that we'd bring in there. And depending on how heavy their counters are, I may or may not bring in Defense Grid. It's also a search target if we get Karn out online, depending the circumstances of that particular game. Pithy Needle, just sort of a catch-all. Like I sometimes will bring it in against Grizzlebrand decks or Sneak and Show, or lands decks. Anyone that's Wasteland is a good target because it shuts down our Dark Depths combo. So But I use it sparingly, pretty much. For the most part, my sideboard is, do I bring in opposition agents? Do I want to bring in this Hex Mage? And do I need to kill a go wide strategy or some early threat? You know, and a lot of these are one-ofs or a little deceiving because we do have 5 tutor options in our deck. So, you know, for instance, if they have a Collector Oof in play and it's naming Helm of Obedience, we could Wishclaw Talisman for our Fatal Push, kill it, and win if we have an inactive Helm on the board. Stuff like that. So it's a pretty versatile deck. You got to stay on your toes and you got to stay focused because there is a lot going on with this deck, and then you combine that with what your opponent's trying to do, and then with what your opponent thinks you're trying to do, it gets pretty crazy. So let's jump into the league. I didn't decide I was going to record this league until I was in game 2 of round 1. So we'll be jumping right into game 2 of round 1. And then we'll go from there. Enjoy! I was watching a video, Braben, you posted a video about playing my death list, and there are a lot of folks in the comments who are asking, how does this deck ever storm off? And so I thought I would just take this tidbit to explain it. So we cast, this is turn 1 by the way, we cast Infernal Tutor, and then we go grab our ill-gotten gains. Now we've got 7 mana floating, so we're just going to spend 4 of those, cast ill-gotten gains, and yep, and we're just going to go grab our Lion's Eye Diamonds and Infernal Tutors. We'll cast them out again. Don't forget to hold priority. And we just sort of repeat this, you know, until we have 10 spells. So we're going to do it one more time, because if we grab Tendrils of Agony here, we'll be 2 damage short. So, you know, my family always says, better to have too much than not enough. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. And yeah, watching the video actually made me update this client and be like, hey, come on, let's play some death. And our opponent is saying combo sweet. Nice. So when you don't play for a few months, people forget that you exist. Well, this person might remember now. I should say thank you. And that was game 2, by the way. So that was our first round. But yeah, the deck is sweet. So, round 2, fight. And we don't know what we're playing against, but we have an Infernal Tutor, we have a Leyline of the Void, and we have a Hex Mage. So, on its own, we don't have any way to win immediately, but we, in theory, have a way to slow down our opponent, and we have 1/2 of all of our combos. So, this is a good hand. Would have probably just preferred maybe 1 more land, but being on the draw is good. We got 2 shots to draw it. Oh, Chalice on 1 would be bad. Okay. Okay. That's why we run this Hex Mage. So, the question is, do we run him out right now? because it's possible we are going to get hit with that 4-mana guy. I don't think so, but I'm gonna run this out because then they'll just take the Hex Mage. But technically we don't. Oh yeah, they're ramping. Okay, cool. I think we might be able to race this, especially if we draw an Lion's Eye Diamond. Ooh, Wishclaw Talisman could do it. So if we Talisman here, the following turn, assuming they don't crush us with mind-bending nonsense, we would go ahead and play. We'd have 2 mana out. If we drew another land, then we're good. But if we pay 1, we'd have 1. We'd go get Lion's Eye Diamond. We'd have 1, 2. We'd be 3 short. We'll be short even. So I think we're gonna try and play this a little conservatively and try and slow down our opponent here because we don't know what they're up to. And they have a Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, so we don't want to play a Dark Depths. So they're probably taking Infernal Tutor here. So they can't stop us completely. Although we now can't get a Lion's Eye Diamond, so we're on a pretty steep clock. I was hoping to hit. I actually don't know what I was hoping to hit there, but yeah, if we had Talismans there, they'd probably still take. I mean, it doesn't really matter what they take. Interesting. Because we can't play LED, so we can play Ritual, and we're just going to fire off this Duress because we need to get Hellbent. So we're going to do that. And, wow, nice. So we grab their Chalice, and then we're just going to grab Helm of Obedience here and hope we top a Ancient Tomb, Lake of the Dead, or Dark Ritual. Any of those are going to give us an immediate win. And then even if we draw a land, we should still be okay, assuming they don't like resolve a backbreaking spell, which they would have to top deck, and we have more outs than they do. So right now, this is looking advantageous for us. There's our land. No whammies. Come on. I don't like that very much. I don't like that at all. Okay. Well, I'm glad we didn't. I was thinking about holding it up, but I'm glad we didn't. This can't attack. Alright, so they did get a card, but not the right one. So now we have to think, how are we going to stop these folks? Opposition Agent is going to be pretty good. Hex Mage, yeah, maybe we do want Hex Mage. Painter's Servant, I don't know. On the draw, I'm actually going to cut a Duress just because most of the things I want to hit are creatures and they empty their hand pretty quickly. So I don't really. Pithing Needle is an idea. And I think, Hymn to Turak might be good. I'm wondering if we want Karn in there at all. Actually, they might cite in some Force of Vigors. Well, we'll see what they do. You gotta anticipate like what your opponent saw. So they're gonna be boarding against this Helm combo pretty hard, which is also gonna hurt our Painter's combo. So really, I'm gonna be looking to win with Storm or 2020, which is why we're bringing in that guy. So I think Yeah, I think we're going to cut the painter combo here and run this out and see what happens. This is interesting, but they're likely going to keep a hand. Helm is actually okay against them on their own, so I'm going to gamble that they don't open on Chalice again. Very nice. And so now we can sort of get them with Opposition Agent is the hope. I know they don't have a lot of fetch lands, but they do have a lot of cards that search. Okay. Well, let's go nuts. We actually have almost enough mana if we draw a Leyline of the Void to play out a full combo next turn. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't count as searching, does it? Maybe they don't have as many search effects as I thought. I thought I would hit this guy. Well, that's good. Let's not seize them. Yep, so there's the Force of Vigor we talked about. They have a Caracas, so let's get rid of the Thought Not Seer, I guess. Play another basic Swamp and attack. So their hand is this. So the turn we play Helm, we want to be the turn that we use it. If we do end up drawing a Leyline, we can sort of just keep it up and play a game of chicken. So now they have enough to kill Opposition Agent if I attack. So I think I might just go broke here and try and hit one of their... Ooh. Now we have some interesting options. We have a Dark Ritual in the graveyard. Oh, man. We only have to deal 17 damage to them. You know what? Sometimes you just kind of gotta go with your gut, and my gut is telling me that they have a super sick creature on the top of their deck. Three, 4. So let's go for it. And even if they respond by killing this, it's not gonna affect my... And I'll still be able to get an ill-gotten gains, so we got a pilgrim for a basic land card. For any land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. So do we want Urza's Saga? Or do we just want to grab an Ancient Tomb? Because can they copy it? They might be able to copy it. Because an Urza's Saga would get us the Lion's Eye Diamond. So let's... They have a Caracas in their hand, so they're going to actually get this guy back. So I think we're going to play the Saga. And pass. But if they bounce him and then play him, I will get to search for the land, I think. I don't think it was a May. So we kind of need to win right here, huh? Oh, it is a May. And they correctly did not activate it. So we need some fast mana here. Oh dear. Chalice on 4? Ugh. They have a Spyglass. Exile the top 3 cards. You may play them this turn without paying their mana cost. So he's going to play Spyglass. What is he going to choose? Helm of Obedience, maybe? There's a Saga. Weird. Oh, because he doesn't want me to make artifact dudes? Wow, I think we just did it. Right? So we have Urborg. Let's get a swamp here. Play a Talisman. We'll go here. Tap. Sacrifice this. And let's activate one of these. Grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. Play the Lion's Eye Diamond. And now we're already at a bunch of spells. So we have 5 mana here. We need to get to 9 spells. So if I grab Infernal Tutor, Dark Ritual, yeah, I think we're good. So ill-gotten gains. And cast. We might be 1 spell short here. So Lion's Eye Diamond and Dark Ritual. So the key here that is tricky, because they have their Force of Vigors, is we have to cast this first. And then we can play this. They don't have priority. It's 7, 2. Oh, exactly. Oh no, it is 8. It's only 16. Um, well, now what? I guess we grab Karn and play him. And what can we get? Ensnaring Bridge, maybe? Now we're in trouble. We have miscalculated. We've got a block there. Oh, that's right, they have Force of Vigor. We're just screwed, huh? Oh, that'll do it too. Yeah, we could have put him at 1. I don't think there's another way. So then the other thing that we could have done was, if I had taken another second to do the math better, instead of going to get ill-gotten gains, I could have got our Echo and then reshuffled to a new 7 and hope that we hit something from there. But looks like we're going to game 3. Yep. Alright. Opposition agent, you are not what I thought you were. I think just another win con is what we want, and I want to keep all my fast mana in. Oh man, that was pretty heartbreaking. But I think that was a winnable game. I want to say, well, at least we could have given ourselves a better chance if we cast Echo and reshuffled. Because if I wait another turn, then yeah, we had to go for it there. No dice. This is mulligan. Anytime you have tendrils in your hand, it's almost always going to be a mulligan. This could work. We're going to go like this. Start with this. And let's Thoughtseize. See if they just have a bunch of chalices. Lands and chalices. Interesting. Okay. But no Caracas. So we lose our ritual, but we do have a wish claw. And the cloud post is actually pretty interesting. So this adds 1 for each locus on the battlefield, so we can actually get 2 mana out of this. So if they play another locus next turn, this is a neat little trick against Eldrazi where you can copy their cloud post and get a bunch of extra mana. They did not, but they might get one here. That is not a locus. But I think our only hope is still to copy this. So now this is going to give us 2 mana. We did it. Did we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And so we're going to use this, get a helm, 2, 4, and we're going to play a helm. There it is. Whew! That was close. That was a close one. Okay, we are in round 3. We won the die roll. We're going to play first. This is a little iffy, but that's what we do here, people. We keep iffy hands. And we have a ley line, so if they're on Reanimator, then hey, we've won already. Oh no. A preordain and a supreme verdict. Well, we're going to take the card draw and go nuts. And hope they just keep drawing air. What do we do with you? Well, I think we just go like this. So I could have played both of them and just started racing. I mean, this whole deck is probably going to be removal, so let's see. Brainstorm, cool. Well, I still don't care about the Supreme Verdict, but I do care about Jace. Counterbalance is pretty brutal. Hmm. Is there one card? What do they have on top? What are they most afraid of? Because if I Dark Ritual here, right? Because in theory, I mean, they've got to have a 1 or a 2 drop on top. There's just nothing else that makes sense there.
Leaving all your mana up on turn 4, I'm thinking that there's more.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford to go all in here into a counterbalance. So in theory, they maybe have a force and a blue card in their hand, but in theory, they don't know what's on top of their deck, right? So let's see. Let's see what's on top. A brainstorm. Let's make everything white. Did they know it was on top? I don't think so. One in your hand, one on the bottom, and exile one. What did they exile? Uh-oh. That's gonna get crazy pretty quick. And they have a brainstorm in their hand. Oh my god. So I think this sucks. Because this is the card we want to get into play. Oh, I think we just go for it. So they're going to brainstorm. And a pyroblast. And now we try and resolve this, that we know that they have that on top. They had that too. Okay. They have one card in their hand and they're about to draw a pyroblast. That's a very good draw. And they've now drawn a flooded strand. And Wishclaw Talisman. Force of negation, okay. I mean, maybe we should have just gone for the beatdown. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm never afraid of playing zero-costed cards because my opponent almost never draws lands. Where are those other servos going? Can he draw cards with this? Untap, sacrifice a servo. Oh, he's got one that's flying, I see. Narset. Well, good thing we don't draw cards in this deck. Ponder. They're keeping the Ponder, so I assume they have a Brainstorm or something. Oh, because they can play it on my turn. This could end up winning us the game at some point. Sure. Oh, right, that was on my turn. That's fair. So close. Looks like we are going to have a tough time pulling this one off at this point. Hmm. And then we F6. Let our opponent dirtle around for a while and basically hope we draw Helm and that they don't have a counterspell and that the top card of their library doesn't have a 4 casting cost. So we are pretty much dead. Although we're not out of it. Now we're probably out of it. Like if we had drawn a disruption spell there to protect, I mean, they likely have, you know, yeah, ponders and things like that, but alright, let's go to game 2. Control, we're going to bring in Duress, him to Turak, Hex Mage, extra Helm? No, I think we're going to leave Karn in there. And creatures that we saw, really just the constructs. Cutting 5, Wishclaw probably gets cut. We can trim a couple of Lotus Petals and maybe even a land against these folks. How about an Urborg? And Uno Mas, huh? Actually, maybe our Painter's Grindstone package. Hmm. I'm gonna leave Opposition Agent out. I'll run that. So we are we keeping this? Maybe. We could have a possible turn 3 here. This is a dead card, unfortunately, with the tendrils. And they mold to 5. Timeless Dragon and a Ponder. Alright, well, let's get the Ponder and try and resolve a Karn next turn. And there's no real reason not to play around days here. Yeah. Alright. Helm, huh? I'll grab Painter's Servant. Try and resolve them. And they have to kill him here. Keep in mind, if they cast Swords of... This is why I'm not super worried about it, because if they cast Swords to Plowshares on it, then I can actually eventually get it back from exile with Karn. And that also exiles, so similar situation. I don't think they have any 2-mana flash creatures I need to be worried about here. There it is. No! Oh my god. Alright. Well, we have another combo that we have picked up since, so that's our next plan. I could have maybe waited another turn. What does that card do? Prismatic something? Oh, nice. Okay, so that resolved. A Thoughtseize would be nice here. Hmm. Duress will do as well. Whew! Alright, going to game 3. And they did mold a 5 on that. Let's remember. Pithing Needle might be helpful. Snapcaster Mage. Sort of funny we got both of the Lotus Petals in that one. Okay. Got a little bit of everything here. No disruption, so drawing a thought seize would be pretty good for business. But we're not throwing this back. So I'm leading the Urborg intentionally because I mean, they can get black for their prismatic endings, but they're also going to be pretty scared of hex mages. I mean, not now, but also if we did draw Dark Depths, I would want to be able to capitalize on that. Now, this could also be a situation where they've actually sided out a lot of their wraths. And I don't want to go for Helm until I can see their hand. Which it seems to me like is full of a lot of counter spells. So let's draw out a counter here against Karn. It's sort of like a thought seize. And what are they getting? A pithing needle? Oh, that guy. Alright, that's interesting. Um, so I didn't attack because he can activate that and make this guy 3/3. But we could get him, we could do, some damage there. Just need one piece of disruption here. Ugh. Brutal. Maybe we should have jammed. I mean, we have the Infernal Tutor backup, so it would be nice to try and get... I just don't like having them having 3 mana up. I assume at least one of those cards is a Source of Plowshare. Rainstorm. Wow! Makes me wish I cast the Dark Ritual. Well, they have a full hand, but they didn't have it. Wow, okay. Sometimes they just don't have it. Alright, so that was round 3. We are now 3-0. Let's go to round 4 here.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. You wanna know? You wanna know what I think? Do it, do
And
it, do
here we are.
it.
Welcome to round 4. We won the die roll. Like that. Let's go first. Ooh, that hand looks fun, but gonna mull it. So we have our Painter Servant combo, and we've got Dark Depths, we've got an Urza's Saga, which can get us a Lion's Eye Diamond. We have this hand is great. It's got all the things except for a Thoughtseize, and we have to put a card on the bottom. So since we have this combo out, oh, that's tough because we don't know what we're playing against, right? But I'm gonna actually bottom the Urborg. And let's just go for it. And we don't know what kind of nonsense they've got over there, so let's run that out too. All right. Might be Reanimator. Or Dredge. So out of those two, I'm going to assume Reanimator, in which case Opposition Agent could be relevant. I actually don't think these, and Hex Mage would not be, so I mean, I've still won with them. I like to keep one in there just as a tutor target. And maybe we chop on the draw for a Piddly Needle. And we might even want him to Turak. Yeah, it's tough because like you don't want to put stuff in their graveyard, but you gotta put stuff in their graveyard, right? Alright, let's see what we're up against. I don't even know that we're playing against Reanimator, but conceding to a Grindstone seems suspect. More likely they're conceding to our ley line. Waiting for our opponent here. Yeah. So they can take, oh, they're probably taking Karn here, I would guess. We do still have one. We could be playing against Doomsday, in which case, like, I don't know that leading on Urborg is... Oh, it's buried alive. Alright, so what is this? Ox. Dark Confidant is a problem. I don't really care about buried alive, so I'll take the Dark Ritual. run that out. So Dark Confidant. Dark Confidant with Oxes, that's interesting. That's a lot of damage to take. Well, they have discard, which is why I'm going to run this out. And we'll just take that, I guess. Okay. Target player, return all artifacts target player owns to their owner's hand. I don't feel like that stops me. So now the ill-gotten gains situation could be pretty good here. If they don't draw a counterspell, what did they reveal? A brainstorm? Another one. Alright. I'm gonna remove a counter. I guess we're just hoping they don't have a counterspell here. Huh. That's interesting. 1, 2, 3. Like, we can just go for the win right here. Because they're going to draw 3 cards next turn. I don't really want to do that, though. So let's go like this. Alright, so we're going to get Karn, Tur, and Duress back. And then pass. Preordain, preordain. So that way we should be able to, for sure, fight through counterspell. What did they have in their hand? Just some draw stuff. They put 2 cards on the bottom, 2 cards on the bottom. Like, I haven't seen a counterspell, but it doesn't mean they're not in there. Lightning bolting me. Okay, so now we are all clear. Clear for launch. Let's grab our helm. And activate. Okay, so one more to go. We are 4-0 going into the last match here. Alright, we're at the final boss, and we are on the draw with no Thoughtseize, but we do have a Hex Mage combo, so let's see. We're going to keep this. And we also have Lion's Eye Diamond, so I mean we can go. We can have a turn to 2020, or we could be looking at a turn to Ill-Gotten Gains to exile their hand, or a turn to Resolve Helm without losing it, without using it rather. So we'll have to see, or we could not be able to do any of those things. Let's see what happens. Affinity? What is happening? Okay, so we're gonna have to go nuts here. So do we make a turn 2 2020? That's what I would like to do. Artifact land cycling. And now they have an island. Another Mox. And a 4/4. Seems good. But the good news is they can't really defend against me. I think we just make a 2020 here. Right? 2, 3, like we can only... Yeah, I think we just do that. And then if they can get rid of this, then we still can... Alright, so that's game 1. So I did that intentionally, like without like going for the for sure win. I mean, they only had one card in their hand, but now they're going to be like, okay, I assume that a lot of players have seen this deck, but I haven't been playing for a while. So let's say that there is a chance that they haven't seen this deck. Therefore, if that's the case, then it's to my advantage to win with a less likely win con, or one that maybe isn't going to win as often. So they're going to sideboard against our 2020 now. I'm still going to leave 2 Hex Mages in there. This is something we will bring in Deluge for. And I don't know, we probably cut a Duress on the draw. And Karn seems reasonable. And maybe a Wishclaw. Pithy Needle might be something to consider. Ensnaring Bridge might just be something I want to main board here, but let's go like that. So if they don't have forces, and based on what they saw, I don't think they'd be bringing in their force package. This is a turn. This is pretty iffy again, but we could just top a helm and be done with it. I don't think they really care about their graveyard all that much. But they could chalice us. Okay. So the question is, do we just cast ill-gotten gains here? 5. And then we can get back. The thing is, I don't think I want to do that. Right? So let's see. If I cast ill-gotten gains, I get back ritual, infernal tutor. Then we cast infernal tutor with 3 mana up, no cards in my hand. And that doesn't win us the game. Right? Because that's 5, 1, 3, 5, 3. So next turn we can win the game. Or if we could just get rid of their hand, and then if they counter it, then we still, yeah, I think this is a tiny bit better. So let's go ritual. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. Ritual ancient tomb here, and we got rid of thought monitor and some other dude. All right, and that's it. We're gonna pass. Our opponent is heavily considering what they want to do with their 1 card they drew. I hope it's not a thought cast. That's interesting, right? Like we can go 5, 1, 2, 3. I think we're just going to do that. Even though I just said that they'd probably have creature kill in this version of their deck. Okay, that's how you do it. That's 5-0 with death. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Traswidden with MTG Open Mic.
The price of progress moving the wrong way. If they play with Final Fortune, eventually they'll lose the